Mark 7, verses 18 through 19 in particular, is purported to have done away with the law concerning unclean meats. Let's read that. Mark chapter 7, verses 18 through 19. So he said to them, "Are you thus without understanding also? Do you not perceive that whatever enters a man from outside cannot defile him, because it does not enter his heart but his stomach, and is eliminated, thus purifying all foods?" Before we go further in Mark 7, we should understand a little bit about the law concerning clean and unclean meats. This distinction was known before the flood even, Genesis 7. It was given again by God to Moses and Aaron for all of Israel, Leviticus chapter 11. It was rehearsed to all Israel a generation later by Moses, and that's what we read in Deuteronomy chapter 14. When you understand who the Lord of the Old Testament really was, you will see that the question is important. Many texts make clear that the one who became Jesus Christ was the same personage known as the Lord in the Old Testament, and there's many verses that show that. He was later made flesh by human birth. We read that in John 1, verse 14. The one who became Jesus Christ had personally said that his people should distinguish between the clean and the unclean, and between the animal that may be eaten and the animal that may not be eaten. In Leviticus 11 and in Deuteronomy 14, he mentioned that his people, now if you don't want to be his people, just ignore it, but his people were to be a holy people who would make themselves abominable if they ate any of the prohibited food. Why did God make such a law? That's a fair question. Was it because, well, God's just mean? Or because God has always had a good reason for the things he does? Based on several comments, such as Leviticus 26, verses 14 through 16, and even Deuteronomy 28, the answer should be obvious. He prohibited humans from consuming some animals because eating those animals would not contribute to human health and well-being. And let's be frank, there's lots of sickness today because we're not following God's law. The Bible makes clear which animals are which. You can go to Leviticus chapter 11. Neither the flesh of unclean animals nor the human digestive system was miraculously changed during the first century AD. Now we can go back to Mark chapter 7, and a careful reading of this passage shows that Jesus was not even addressing the question of clean or unclean meats, nor was he changing his mind. If you desire truth, I would like to bring to your attention our website, which contains further Bible study materials, all free of charge, of course. Feel free to send in questions or topics that you would like covered on this program. I also invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. The links are below. In context, Jesus was pointing out that the Pharisees had added all kinds of do's and don'ts to God's laws, all kinds of mandates and rituals that were not commanded by God. They were man-made. And one of those things had to do with how one must wash his hands and arms in, this special ceremonial way before eating. He also said that such rituals of men do not purify the heart. The dirt that one might ingest on, let's say you eat an apple, it's not going to defile a person. What comes out of the person, such as evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, and all other sins, are what defiles a person. We read that in verses 20 through 23. Any dirt that might be there from unwashed hands does not enter the heart, but the stomach, and then is eliminated, as he said in verse 19, thus purifying all foods. Jesus was saying that whatever enters the stomach is processed by the human digestive system to obtain, any possible nutrients, and then what is left is eliminated from the body as waste. This is the simple and logical explanation of this text, in its context, which shows that it has nothing to do with the subject of clean or unclean meats. Hey, thanks for watching. If you would like more videos breaking down God's truth for today, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. The Bible is the most up-to-date book ever written. It's a new book. It's a now book for today and tomorrow. It's a book of truth, always the same. It never gets old. This is Michael Ellertson with the Holy K.I.S.S. Until next time, goodbye, friends.